Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's a Positive Forces show, always giving you more, sending you positive
to
vibes.
change your
I'm
lives.
your host, Kimon Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Yola, Yoli.
Yes, in the Hazalas. We want to welcome you to our show this afternoon. Oh my God, we are totally going to be having some fun today.
I hope
I
so.
want to
I like
welcome,
having fun.
yes, You Choose Radio family. We love you. Hi, Zion Light, Highness Radio. We love you too. Reggae Global Radio. We will never leave you out. Thank you for joining us here today, family. Let your friends know that we are on. We have a guest here today, none other than, oh, I'm going to tell you soon. Before I let you know, we're going to open up with prayer and then we're going to jump into our show.
Yes.
Yola.
Thank you, Lord Jesus, for bringing us here again on the Positive Forces show. Always bringing positive vibes to change our lives and the lives of others. Lord, help to keep our tongues responsible. Help us to be more compassionate. Help us remember that you are the one that feeds us, helps us grow, gets us through this thing called life. I pray that you continue to walk with us, Lord. Guide us as we walk through. In your name, amen.
Amen. How are you?
I'm good.
Praise to the Most High.
All right. She said she's good, y'all. And she said she's good. So she's three goods.
Yes.
We're good.
That's the three names.
Yeah, oh Lord, guys, you know that Yola has like three different personalities.
Yes. How are you, Kimmy Kim?
I am doing fantastic. I am counting down for my vacation time, even though I'm gonna be working summer school.
That's okay.
But hey, I'm counting down for the vacation. My birthday's coming up.
Yes.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow.
Yes.
All these different things are going on.
Yes.
So I am excited. Yeah, today, so you're looking and you're like, who's this lovely lady? So I'm going to introduce to you to our family, Miss Courtney King. She's a graduate of Savannah State University, where she earned her bachelor's degree in English and creative writing. Courtney King is a published author and a poet. She loves to the spoken word. Her mission is to take the power of words and use them to manifest compelling business communications. Established in 2029, King Infinity Inc. is a business communications firm that does everything from graphic design to web content and social media management. She promotes positive communication that rewrites the world we live in. Courtney has been hosting spoken word events over the past 10 years. She has written several books that are currently available on Amazon. Her latest book will be released this summer, and it is an inspirational book entitled Uplifting the Forgotten Queen. The latest project that Courtney King is currently tackling is the development of an alternative learning academy for students. Infinity Minds Academy specializes in assisting students by implementing a new form of education. They teach real life skills that prepare students for real world success. Infinity Minds Academy strives to be the future of education. Courtney King, we welcome you. She's a proud mother, of course, of two handsome sons. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, welcome to the Positive Show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it is a pleasure to have you. Thank you for accepting and coming on. And we just want to just chop it up and have some fun. And typically we start out with the Yola start. So we're gonna do that right now, and then we're gonna jump into your segment. Okay?
Okay.
Good. So Yoli's thought. Well, I always have something that happens to me during the week, and that's how I come up with Yoli's thought. But this week it was a pretty slow week, so I thought what I should do was just talk about and reflect on mothers, because tomorrow is Mother's Day.
Right.
And so I just want to say, everybody out there, cherish your mothers, appreciate your mother. My mom passed away in 2021, and I realized that I miss her a lot. Mm-hmm. And the thing that we always used to do on Mother's Day was go to Fogo de Chao, because she loved Fogo, as I do. So I'm not going to do that this year, but I will take time out to remember my mom and to just celebrate her and who she was. and who I remember her to be, and to remind my son that he loved his nana and that she still loves him as
Yeah.
she follows and what looks out for him as God does every day. So everyone out there, just remember to cherish your moms, appreciate your moms. At some point, they're not going to be around. I know sometimes we moms kind of get under your skin and all that stuff, but I promise you, everything that we tell you is out of love because we want you to succeed, because we want you to be functioning, happy adult people in this world. So that is Yoli's thought. Just love on your moms. Don't love on your moms just tomorrow, but love on them every single day of the year.
Right. Awesome. Like we're always in sync. Like we never talk about the topic, right?
No.
And she does it every week. It's like I don't know. We share brains or something.
Yes.
But we are definitely going to be talking about Mother's Day, and not because okay, well tomorrow's Mother's Day. Obviously she's going to do that. No, typically it's just like that. We are so flippant in sync. It's crazy. But we want to welcome Courtney King here, and we want to talk a little bit about you, entrepreneurship, motherhood, and being a poet and all these wonderful things you're doing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. First of all, I want to piggyback off of what she just said. I do believe that we should honor our mothers all the time, not just one day out of the year. It should be done all the time. And I just want to give a shout out to my family. Condolences. I just lost my aunt earlier this week,
Oh,
and
condolences.
she was a great mother. I just want to send a shout out to the Ivy family and the King family, and just know that she's forever in our hearts. And just because we leave this physical realm of existence, our spirit still lives on, and that's the importance of leaving a legacy so that we can have children to go ahead and continue on our legacies and our family name. So I just want to get that out of the way first.
Our condolences to you and your family.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right. So what is it like being in this poet author world that you have, and then you're like, okay, I'm coming up with this great idea for students. Like, tell us, where did that birth from?
Okay, so I've always been a lover of words. I've always loved writing. I've been writing since I could pick up a paper and a pen since I was a little girl. So it's just always something it's a God given talent. It came natural to me, and it's just something that I've always loved doing. It was years ago when I first did my first novel, which was kind of like a romance, suspense, action kind of novel. Then I got into recently. I started doing like horror books and stuff like that, kind of like Stephen King a
Yes.
little bit.
I
And I
like.
wanted to. Oh, good. I want to get into that because I know Jordan Peele. He's started to make like scary films and stuff like that that feature African American characters. So I
Mm,
kind of want to venture off into that eventually. But right now, um, the book that I'm coming out with this summer, Uplifting the Forgotten Queen, that's a motivational book, and it's for building up sisterhood, kind of like exactly what your radio show is about. Building up sisterhood is talking about collective consciousness and making sure that we are all on the same wavelength, kind of like how you said you and her share share the similar ideas and things like that.
yeah.
That is really a thing. Like women, we are intuitive like that, and we connect, we sync. So that's important for us to get back to that sisterhood and to really reconnect with one another because that's really missing in the world right now today. And then the students, the school, I'm sorry, Infinite Minds Academy. That is a project that's just near and dear to my heart because, like Whitney Houston, I believe the children are the future.
That's right.
So, so I feel like right now, if you look at the news, you see so many horrible stories about teachers being attacked by students. You see just heartbreaking stories about shootings in schools. So my thing is students need to be nurtured. Children today have lost their innocence. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, their innocence has been kind of taken away and stolen from them. So for me, it's a passion in my heart to get back to the days when teachers were an extension of our families. To have a somebody else to care about you other than just your parents and your immediate family. So that's really the basis and the foundation of what I want to start with this alternative learning academy.
Nice.
Yeah, I really love the idea of your new book that's coming out. And you said it's coming out this summer. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Yes.
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 Fingers crossed.
Yes. Fingers crossed for you too
Yes.
on sisterhood. So, what type of research did you have to do to, come up with that book that you were going to do?
So it really just started out. It really started with my own personal journey. So just self development and becoming a woman and the trials and tribulations. It really started out as just telling my testimony and the things that I went through into becoming the person that I am today. And I'm still a work in progress. Nobody on this earth is perfect, but I just felt like in becoming a better version of myself, I learned a lot of things, and I see a lot of other females struggling with that. But right now, I really feel like we are going through a great awakening in the earth, and I really feel and see evidence of women really coming into their own. They're really discovering who they are. And I just wanted to, I mean, I've been writing this book for the past like 3 years. I think I started it in 2017. So it's just been the research has been real world experience from my own experience and growth, and also talking to men and talking to other females, talking to different people in different situations. Like I've talked to married couples, I've talked to single people, I've talked to different age groups. So that's really how the research came about for that project.
Wonderful. Oh, and I have another question. It has to do with your other genre that you're doing, which is horror. So I'm a huge Stephen King fan.
Okay, okay.
His books in hard copy. So you want to talk about what type of books you've done that are in that genre?
Okay, so I started a series. It's called Holla Scream.
Mm.
The basis for that series is it's a collection of, I don't know if you guys remember, like back in the day, they had Tales from the Crypt. They
Yeah.
had like,
Yes.
what was the other thing? Twilight Zone kind of stuff.
Twilight Zone, Tales from the
Yeah,
Crypt, Outer
yeah.
Limits. Yeah.
Right, right. So Holla Scream is my version of kind of like all of those things. Kind of all wrapped up into one. So every year, I try to release a new short horror story, and it's in that collection of the Holler Scream series. So the ones that I've written so far, I have one called Bad Blood, which is about an African American werewolf. Um, the
Uh-huh.
one that I did last year, Dr. Valentine, is about a black female serial killer. So she's a doctor. She was a surgeon, and I'm not going to give away the plot, but she really
Yes, don't do
gets
that. I want
she
to read
really
that.
gets
That sounds good.
yeah, yeah, you guys have to read it. So yeah, she is an interesting character. I really had fun creating her and coming up with that story. So yeah, you have to read it. Dr. Valentine.
Jumping off of that, have you ever thought, seeing that your books are for African American, or let's say African American lead characters, and in that genre, have you ever thought of maybe taking that to film or short film or
Oh,
independent film?
oh yeah, yeah, that is definitely the ultimate goal. Just like I said, Jordan Peele, he is an inspiration for me because he has
Yes,
started doing that in the last couple of years, and it's become really popular. I know a lot of people know about Get Out, and the last movie he had, I think Nope was last year,
yes.
with the aliens and stuff like that. So yeah, that is definitely the ultimate goal is to get these books on into film. So yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
me
loving
too.
it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Me
All
too.
right.
Me too. I
So
love the vibe. I love the vibe.
awesome. Awesome. So Infinity Minds Academy. What what kind of students are you targeting?
So I'm targeting mainly older students right now because this is going to be my first attempt at going into the education sector.
Okay.
And I feel like it'll be easier to start off with like high school students, and mainly students who are having issues in the traditional educational system right now.
Mm. Interesting you said that because I've been having conversations with my son, and he's not particularly in favor of the public school system. He prefers the private school. and he was in a private school before, and he's just like, can I not go back in that environment? And I'm kind of torn because I feel like it's good for him to be able to learn how people are really, and how society is, and how to handle different situations, not to be too sheltered. But then again, if the request is being made, how much do you look into that? So I do like that from the high school perspective, because you did say you want to give them real life skills. And somebody I was talking to actually has that same very idea. And we were chopping it up because she wanted my perspective as a teacher. And I think that's great. In Jamaica, in the islands, we have curriculum, we have courses where we can do gardening and all these other different things, these life skills, mechanics, woodwork, whatever. So that's not here. And I think that would be a great addition to the education system. And you're going to be probably having a lot of people coming in trying to figure out how to get in. So be prepared for that. I think that's a really good idea.
Yes, yes, and this is. I'm glad you mentioned that because that is one of the things that I want to put on our curriculum is going to want to have a gardening class where the students not only learn how to do the gardening, but they also pick the fruits and the vegetables, and it can be used in the nutritional program at the school. So
Right.
that is one of the classes that I want to add to the curriculum.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. When I was in high school in the Caribbean, we had a class called agricultural science.
Mhm.
And so we did, farming and, raising chickens and growing vegetables. And then we take all the harvest and sell it and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think those kind of things are a lost art nowadays, like, agricultural science or, culinary classes or even extra, even
Home
research
ec,
is being lost. Home ec is being lost. I did all of those, and we don't see kids doing that anymore.
right, right,
Yeah, especially at
and
that
that
level, high school.
Hmm.
and that's really important too, is that connection to the earth and to nature. Like even just having what I want to do also is have a class or a period or segment where students can go outside and get sunlight, do some grounding work. Because right now it's structured, the school system is set up like a prison. They go to a certain place for a certain amount of time, they're stuck in there all day, they have to go, it's a strict schedule. So that's kind of what I want to do is like switch that up and go be more fluid with the learning, because that's how the kids retain when they feel like they are a part of the learning curriculum, and they're not forced into something, and they're not just sitting there memorizing stuff all day to pass a test. I think it really it goes to speak more to their character.
And it helps them find their character too, I would think.
Right. Right, right. And that's
Some
what
of
I
the
want to do.
music
Yeah.
education is kind of gone or lost in schools now. So,
You still have music education. There's some of them that are there, and then you do have schools within our county that does prepare the students for that. Where at 11th grade and 12th grade, towards the end of their tenure in the high school, where they can go out to these different fields and cosmetology, mechanics. There are some, but it's not a lot. And the dynamics of the prison feel, we could go on and on and on for that with that. But
Right.
I think I'm gonna just stop right there. But we can actually do a show with that. Have you come back for that? But we're gonna pause on the interview right now, unless you have some question, and then we're gonna jump into our segment. Feel free to stick around, and just talk to us. I expect you to
Okay.
stay. Hopefully, you're not gonna leave. And
Uh-uh.
we're going to talk about motherhood, and we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and mental health. Like, how is it, affecting people right now? Are you good to stay?
Yes, yes, of
I just
course.
want to say one thing. If you could just plug your book again when it comes out,
We'll
your
do that
name and
at the end.
everything for the listeners.
We'll do that then.
Yeah,
Okay.
just one more time. That'd be great.
Okay. All
We'll do
right.
that at the end. We'll do that
Okay.
at the end. We'll do that at the end before you
Do
leave.
it again. Okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
All right, so we want to thank our sponsors, Reggae Global Radio, for being, oh my God, for carrying our show, Viscosity Blend Radio, Zion Highness Radio, and YouChooseRadio.com. You all are fantastic. Jamie, big up yourself. Yes, 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 yes. DJ BJ Smiles. Oh my God, I love you. Guys, you don't understand how intricate it is, how good it is to be a part of a family that, is so cohesive and want to make sure that the listeners get what they get, good positive vibes, and just feeling a sense of community. We want to definitely thank our sponsors. We want to thank LMM Landscaping. Guys, if you need curb appeal, please call Reggie at LMM Landscaping at 404-246-9582. Again, 404-246-9582. Tell them you heard about them from us on the Positive Forces show, and you will get your 10% discount. Just let them know. All right, for all your construction needs, call J&P Construction at 678-927-6945. Again, 678-927-6945, and ask for Junior Williams and let them know that you heard about them from the Positive Forces show. Make sure you get your 10% discount. All right. Again, listen, give them a call. All right. We're going to jump into our segment, and we're going to talk about motherhood. And we talked about a lot of it earlier, making sure that you appreciate the parent that's in your life. We're all mothers here. I want to say happy Mother's Day in advance. And to our listeners for tomorrow, happy Mother's Day to you. We just want to make sure that we extend that greeting to you and you feel loved. If you don't have someone around to make you feel loved, I hope you feel the positive vibes here from all three of us. Wishing you happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, mommies.
Yeah. So it is Mental Health Awareness. You guys know that May is
Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Month. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Who's on? Pamela Forbes. What did she say?
Greetings, everyone.
Yes.
And I replied with the hello with exclamation marks.
Mama P, we thank you for being with us. Veronica Ellis, big shout out to my mother. I love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy.
Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for all you do and all you've imparted in me. And my God, she is that Proverbs 31 mom. And I am totally appreciative to God that you were able to take on the task of raising me. And I just thank God that he chose you. Julie Bailey, thank you for being with us as well. Always supporting us. You want to give a shout out, Courtney?
Once again, I just want to shout out to my aunt Chrissy. May she rise in power. I definitely want to send love, comfort, and peace to my family, the King family and the Ivy family at this time. And I just want to send an extra dose of love to everyone who is not fortunate enough to have their mother. So I do want to just send an extra dose of love, because I know this time of the year can be hard for those who, Mother's Day and Father's Day for those, because I lost my father. So I understand that pain. So yeah, just want to send extra love to everyone.
I received it.
Good.
Shout out to my bestie, Erica Saunders. Happy Mother's Day to you, bestie. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Erica. Yes. All right. So we want to make sure we honor you guys and make sure you honor yourselves. Take the time as mothers to say, hey, you know what? I am going to do something for me. Right. Okay. We're talking about mental health. We want to make sure that we're stable, because right now depression is on the rise, and anxiety and stress and burnout is so on the rise. And if moms specifically don't, take the time to stop, breathe, drop your shoulders, exhale, inhale, exhale, and just be thankful of the space that you're in even right now. We have so many stresses that affect us, but how is it that we prepare ourselves for the next stress? Because it's gonna continue. And how do we prepare ourselves for our successes? You're an entrepreneur, right? So how do you handle, Courtney, being a mom and being successful as an entrepreneur and keeping your mental stability?
Right. Mental health is very, very, very important. And we are seeing that more and more, especially since the pandemic and things like that. Mental health has come more to the forefront. So for me, my sons are grown now. They're older.
Okay.
So, but I've been there. I've been a single mom. So I know what it's like to try to juggle all these things. You have to take care of a household, raise children, and it's especially difficult raising young men when it's just yourself. You have to be mom and dad. So my thing was finding balance. Balance is very, very key and important. You have to schedule time for your children, for your family, and schedule time for yourself. Like you were just saying, self-care is very important. Self-love, I talk about that in my book, actually, a whole chapter dedicated to self-love and self-care, because that is very important for your mental health, and it's very important just in your mental stability, I guess, just to make sure that you do take time for yourself and you do show yourself extra love and care, and just make sure that you treat yourself every now and then, because sometimes we forget that we're human too. We try to be superwoman and do all these things, but at the end of the day, we're still human, and we still need to tap into that feminine energy of us being soft and letting somebody else help, because it takes a village to raise a child, first of all.
Mhm.
So that's another thing where sisterhood comes in also. Like, hey, can you help me out today, or can you give me, watch the kids for a couple of hours? It's important for us to take time, take turns in our community, in our family, to help the young ladies, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I've had mental breakdown. I know that I should have been on somebody's couch, and I know I probably had several nervous breakdowns just on my own in my bedroom.
Right.
So we have to make sure we check in with our family, with our loved ones, even like they say, your strong friends, because the ones that seem like they have it all together, those may be the worst ones, because they feel like they have to keep up
That
Yeah.
that
persona.
they have to keep up that facade. So yeah, we have to check in on everybody and make sure that we are doing our part to help out.
Yola's an engineer and you're a mom as well. So how is it that you are able to like come on the show? I mean, you got this like great personality and you keep it up. I mean, your mental health is like seems like you never have any issues at all. Like, how do you maintain that?
Well, the mother's job is never done. For all mothers, it's never done. Whether you're a single mom or you're a mom that is also a wife, it's never done. But I think for me, it just helps always having someone and other people that check in on me. Even if it's just once a month or once of the year, it's someone that is checking in on me. Just like my best friend, Erica, who's on right now. We talk every day, and that really helps because we are both accountability partners for different things that we're doing and going on in our life. So it's really helpful to have somebody that you trust, that you can talk to, that has your back. And then there's other mothers that I also talk to, that when you have someone that you can talk to, like a group that you can identify your struggles, it makes you not feel like you're alone, that it's not just you. Because there's times when I'm just going from the time I wake up or the time I go to sleep, I'm just going. But I do try to have time to stop and just do absolutely nothing. Like this morning, I got up and I just took the morning off. I did absolutely nothing, and that was it. And now I feel refreshed. But it's important to remember to do that, because I find that most mothers don't remember to do that. It's kind of like this staying in the present, which is something I also do. I'm always in the present. I'm always, what's the next thing I have to do, and not so much looking way off into the future. Because for me, it's just a little bit too much. And so I think that's how I keep everything going. I just take everything one step at a time, one thing at a time, and then I try to remember to rest. So that's kind of how I do it. And then I also, this is something that's very important, as mommies, and for men and for human beings, period. And something that I think we need to teach our children is that when you wake up, of course, you say a prayer to God, but then also you get to choose. He gave you that right to choose. You get to choose how you feel.
Yeah.
So choose, like make an active, conscious choice to feel good or to be happy. Even when you don't feel down, even when you feel down, identify it, but then you still get to make a choice. Find something that lifts your spirit and choose to be happy. Choose to have a positive attitude. Choose to be compassionate. Choose to help someone else. Choose to love someone else. Choose to love yourself. But remember that you have a choice. So that's kind of how I do it.
Man, well, guess what? Erica is taking some of the credit because she was like, "Well, it helps that I'm a therapist."
Yes, it does.
Erica's like,
My
"Listen,
best
man."
friend is my like my side therapist, and Christian counselor is Erica Saunders. Remember that name, okay?
Or future psychologist. All right, Camilla Forbes says, please give a shout out to women who raise kids they didn't give birth to, but nurtured them and be a mother to them. And that is true. We do need to
Yes.
give a shout out to them because it's commendable to take on the responsibility of kids, not just one. Some people take on two or three foster children. When you're taking care of foster kids, you're no longer like getting the resources from the government. I think I know that when you're doing no when you adopt them.
Yes.
When you're a foster kid, they do get resources, but when you adopt a child, that's even
It's on you.
greater. Like that, all that financial responsibility is on you, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to those parents that has said, "Hey, maybe you couldn't have a child of your own, or whatever the case is, but you've taken on the responsibility." We just want to thank you for that, and know that God is like shining his light down on you and smiling because he knows that you have a special place within him. All right. So we want to say thank you for that. And Erica's giving an applause. We just love it. All right. All right. So one of the things that you can do is set aside time for yourself, like we talked about, and avoid feeling guilty. Like, don't just feel guilty about like typically I'm doing something, and today I did nothing. This morning I did nothing. My son had a banquet which he was supposed to go to and dress up and everything for, and I was like, no,
Take pause.
doing nothing. And he's like, Mom, what are we supposed? I'm like, no, because we do community events, we do food bank, we do so much every single week. Plus, I do it in the daytime at my school. I opened up a food bank at my school, and it's like day nonstop. I was like, nope, stopping, and not gonna feel guilty about it. All right. Start your day with ease, like you said, with prayer. I do that with of course. Some people say, hey, maybe I don't pray, maybe they meditate, right? Exercise, drinking some coffee, having some tea, just taking some me time, getting a pen and paper, your tablet, whatever, and jot down what are you gonna do for the day.
Journaling.
Yeah. What am I gonna do for the day? What will my day look like? Right? What do y'all think about that? The journaling and making sure.
I love it. And I'm telling you, I'll be honest. I'm always honest on the positive
Yeah,
forces
she's
show.
too honest sometimes.
Sometimes too honest. But the truth is, I just love having to-do lists. I'm just not very good at it. Okay. But I think it's very important. So when I do remember to have a to-do list, I do jot down in my digital journal, because that's where I am now. I jot down the things I have to do, phone calls I have to make. And it just kind of keeps everything remembered, because we have so much going on as moms that we do forget things. And then you go through the guilt thing, like, oh, I forgot to do this. So it helps to write. So I love writing. And if you're not just having a to-do list, it's nice to just write your thoughts down. Some people do it with having a vision board, which lasts them for the entire year. But some people actually have that art where they can sit and just write down how they feel.
Yeah.
Usually I can write how I feel when I'm going through something, and the words just flow all over the paper. But when it's done, it's on the paper and it's out of me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like that. It's out of.
Right. That's the releasing.
Splatter it on the paper. Give it
Releasing.
to the paper. Yeah, releasing it like you release it to God. You got something, Courtney?
Yes, I am a journal fanatic. It's right here. I like to journal, and I like to do affirmations. Just for self motivation, just for, like she said, releasing sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very, very important to me to journal, because I'm a writer at heart. So I agree with that.
All right. Cool. There's a challenge that's out.
Uh-oh.
It's called post-it notes. It's a post-it note challenge.
Okay.
Right?
Let's hear it.
And it's like you do your chores on it, but it's not that long list on that paper. So you have, say, a notebook, paper, and you have number one all the way down to 100, right? All the things that you have to do in one day. But if you just get like a post-it note and you just put one up with everything that you have to do, you just tear it down. It possibly mentally makes you feel like you have less to do.
Oh, okay.
So you still have all your tasks on there, but you just peel them off one by one as
As
opposed
you
to
do
peel them
them.
off. Yeah, and it just feels like, oh, it's like less on the fridge or less in your area, your space, whatever it is. What y'all think about that? The post-it note challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I think about that. I guess it makes sense. You know, you have if you have like 100 post-it notes on your fridge, and then one day you take off 50. Yeah, I think you would feel better because you feel like you've accomplished something. Yeah, so I think it's kind of cool if it works for
I think it
people. We
could
should
work.
try
I
it.
think
Why
so. I
not?
think so.
Yeah.
Give you that automatic feel of, oh, accomplishment, that euphoric feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got this done.
Yeah, I think it's the same like if you write a to-do list and you cross it out, but sometimes you might not get back to that to-do list to cross it out.
Yeah.
So why not just rip off a post-it note? I like it.
It
It
What do you
works.
think, Tiffany?
minimizes,
It works.
yeah. It minimizes the, like you say, it's overwhelming when you just try to look at it like, oh my God, I got all this to do.
Yeah.
But even if you just, hey, every step, every journey starts with one step. So even if you just accomplish one thing, and then I like it too because you can move them around. You might be like, hey, well, I can't do this today, so let's put it on the door for, as I'm walking out of the
Yeah,
house tomorrow, maybe I remember to do that. So I
right.
think it's
You're
cool.
right. Don't forget your keys. And you stick it on your door. I'm kidding, but yeah.
Right.
It's the taking it off for me, crumbling it up and tossing it away that I like, okay, that's done. That's one more thing I
Yeah.
have to do.
I like that too. That's a good thought. I like that one.
How about mom's mental health relates to your child's mental health? So whatever, however you are, it projects on your child. So keep that in mind, and remember, you don't want to be like going through a whole lot and then you put on this facade for your children either, right? So I think when you think about not putting on a facade, or we have to stay strong, but actually work on it and make it become real. Like, you know what, I'm actually doing something for myself. I'm seeing a therapist. You have somebody like a Erica in your life, or you a clergy or somebody that you can go to and say, hey, let's talk. A confidant. Many of us don't have a lot of confidants, right? But if you do have one, like somebody you can just go to, and remember that stability is necessary, and your kids are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
My bestie is sometimes my voice of reason.
Mm, yeah.
So it does help. And then as far as how your kids see, I try to I have a lot of patience
Mhm.
with my son. He's 6, and I think it's good to be that way. But I can't say that I'm the mom that if I'm sad, he doesn't see it.
Mm.
Because I know that he said, Mom, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And he'll I'll say, my back hurts. And he'll rub my back because he's like
Aw.
the sweetest, most loving boy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know everybody loves my son, but
yeah.
it's just his personality. And
Adorable.
I think that has to do with what you, as a mommy or a parent, shows your child.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
if you show your child this hard, tough exterior, they might end up that way. If you have a way to show your child a balance, they'll be balanced. If you show your child, as you are interacting with other people, how you treat your because kids are always copying what you do. So when they see what you do, they're like, oh, mommy did this or daddy did this, I'm gonna do that too.
Mhm.
So yeah, I for sure
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
And that I want to piggyback off of what you just said because I talk about that in my book also, dealing with generational trauma, because things that we witness when we are children sometimes bleeds over into our adulthood. And sometimes things that we see is not always good for us, or things that we want our children to repeat. So just make sure that you are talking with your kid. Like you say, your son can tell. They know, kids are smart. They're intuitive. They know when something is wrong with us. So I think it's best for us as parents to address it, to show them how to confront different emotions. And that goes back to the mental health as well. They have to learn how to deal with emotions and how to confront and face head on some challenges that they're going to face in life that may not be easy.
Mm. Yep. Lady Gaga, she said that acceptance, tolerance, bravery, compassion, these are the things my mom taught me. Right.
That's
So,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah. Maya Angelou said, to describe my mother would be to write about a hurricane in its perfect hour.
I love Maya Angelou.
She
Me
is
too.
so good.
Me
Oh my
too.
My
God.
favorite, yeah.
To describe my mother would be to write. Let's talk about that for like 2 minutes. To describe my mother would be to write about a hurricane. Think of what a hurricane is in its perfect power. Whew.
Yeah, what
It means
amazes me
her.
about that is that it's a hurricane. On the outside, it's powerful. You know, some might think it's chaotic, but it's actually very powerful. But at the center of the hurricane is this eye of the storm, which is very calm. So that kind of makes me think that that may be how she was describing her mom,
Mm.
like this strong, powerful force that can move through everything, but on the inner center, she was really peaceful, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Or at least that's my interpretation. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, man. Go, let's hear from the point. Go ahead, because I know your
Oh,
poetic juices are flowing right now. You're like, wait a minute, I
but
got.
guess what though? She stole it from me because that was
I'm
exactly what I was
sorry.
thinking. Yeah. So I have. Hey, I'm at a loss for words right now. So
All
she
right,
that's
that's good.
exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, and it's perfect power, right about a hurricane, and it's perfect power, and then to use the word perfection with hurricane, and
Hmm.
then
Right, right.
it's like, wait a minute now, woo, like
Yeah.
Kind of like
woo,
a
like
oxymoron.
there is no right, there is no perfection in a hurricane, like it just
Hmm.
brings turmoil, right? And it's wet, it's rain, you got to move. I mean, just think about the whole process. That the highways are jammed up. People move from
Chaotic.
Florida to anywhere, right? To get a room just to stay safe. But a hurricane in its perfect power, I do think that that is us as moms. We do have that power. And regardless of what comes our way, we can act as a hurricane and get rid of it, get rid of the storm while even being the storm ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
using it to move things out of the way,
Yeah.
like obstacles.
My. All right. Rose Mylan said, my mother used to say, the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana.
That's hilarious.
I didn't write that.
It was funny though.
I know.
I'm glad
I
you did.
know.
I know.
And I totally agree because I hate if it's one brown spot on the banana, I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah, that.
You don't cut it off, yeah, cut it
It's,
off a little
no,
bit.
it's worse when you peel the banana and the skin is brown and it's brown on the inside too. It's like,
Ah.
oh
Oh my god. Oh my god. Moms are always going through. You have the postpartum depression, anxiety. Giving birth, the whole your body changing, getting body shamed, right? Becoming a soccer mom. Your car's always dirty now. You got all these kids in the car driving to the games, right? Even labor. Just think about the pain. Having to balance family life and your own life, and if you're single, oh my god, forget it. If you're married, and then it's like you're single because your husband's not doing the right thing. It's like, oh my god, it's even worse, right? There's so many things that we have to go through, and then you have the mother that takes the time off because she's a mother now, and then you're like, wait a minute, you're a stay-at-home mom. It's like, wait a minute, which one where do I win? Like, you don't want me to take the time off, but then you're like, wait a minute, go back to work. You're a stay-at-home mom. What you're doing, your job at home is not appreciated, like like say an engineer or a poet or an author or a teacher, right? So it's like we always are constantly juggling these things, exhausted, and but don't let that be your demise. Don't look at it as the pleasure of hosting a baby. God has given you the opportunity to raise a mini you. And your children sometimes look to parents as mini gods because that's the only perfect figure in their lives. Not to say that we are a god, but we are looked upon as mini gods in the eyes of our children. Mom can do anything, right?
mom can do everything.
Anything, everything, right? So we have to make sure we take the perspective of who I am, and build on that. Get a mirror, look in that mirror and say, hey, like you said before, King, the positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself and grow strength from that. You know, if you pray, grow strength from God. We're gonna jump into our final thoughts. We do have about 5 minutes, so
Oh, already?
yeah. So we have our final thoughts. So we're gonna talk about that and just express, like you know, how is it that I want you to dig into it a little bit more and say, what is it I do on a really personal note whenever you're feeling down, not the fluff. How is it that you handle the stress? And and no fluff. Like, hey, this is what I do and it works, and I want you to try it.
Who's going first?
Oh. Who?
Let's have
Me?
Courtney go first.
Go,
Yes.
King.
That's a really deep, that's a deep, thought-provoking question. And like you said, no fluff. I'm just gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. What I do, I how can I explain this? I become the observer of my situation instead of the victim. So no matter what the challenge is, I allow myself to feel the emotion, go through it, cry it out, whatever I have to do, scream, whatever the emotion is and attached to it. I feel that first, but I don't stay there. I give it a few minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I got to get it together. I have to get myself back, I have to get myself back on track. So I allow myself to feel the emotion, but I don't live in the emotion and I don't allow it to make me feel like a victim or make me feel like have a pity party, so to speak. I learned that it's easier for me to feel it, go through it, get right back on my feet and say, okay, pick it up. What can you do about it? Whatever the case may be.
Mm,
I
awesome.
like it.
Awesome.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Let me go. For me, I literally I look at the situation, like you said, from the observer's perspective, and I'm just like, okay, Lord, is this really happening? Like, am I really going through this right now? And that, when I say breathe, like I literally breathe, because sometimes, even when now, if you drop your shoulders, sometimes your shoulders are like up and you don't even feel it. You don't
In
even
your
know.
ears.
Right?
Tension.
Drop your shoulders, and I'm like, all right. And I literally I just cry out to God. And I'm like, Lord, I don't even want to deal with this. Maybe it's something I have to go through to go to my next process. And but Lord, if I have to go through this, I need your help. And you feel it, and you think about it, and you might talk about it, but then it's like, God, I don't want to go through this by myself. You've given me this because I have to go through this to become better in some way. I don't know what way that is, Lord, but I'm giving it to you. And I literally just say, I'm giving it up to you. And when I think about it, it's almost like I'm picking it back up again and taking it back from him, because I want to make my own solution. And I'm like, nope, God, take care of this. Please take care of this. Take care of this. And he always just seems to work it out. And but it's me. I make sure that I find somebody I can talk to, because it's really important to talk to someone. And
True.
yeah.
Very true.
Well, for me, I it's in stages for me. Literally, it's stages. So the one thing I do is my relationship with God is not one of only prayer. It's one of, and people might think this is crazy, but that's okay. I actually have conversations with him. I have a conversation with God when I'm stressed. I literally talk to him. And depending on how bad the situation is, what I recently learned was the word surrender. And I had to say it several times to actually give it to God. It's like casting your fears onto him. And the last time I did that, I literally had to say surrender and just let go of it and not pick it back up. And it worked out the way it was supposed to. And then after I've done that, I try to remember to say thank you. But for the most part, I really do have a conversation. And then when I'm finished having my conversation with him, whether it's big or small, I reached out to my best friend, my side therapist, bestie, Erica Saunders, because she is also a Christian and a follower of Christ. We're trying to be more Christ-like on this journey. And so I have conversations with my God and I have conversations with my best friend. And that's how I literally get through things.
All right. I love my life, guys. I'm going to say again, thank you for being with us here on the Positive Forces Show. Be with us next week. I'll say tomorrow.
You did.
Well, tomorrow, yes, from 6 to 8. Yes, we'll be on as well. But see us next time, and let this be something where you can go back to and marinate on, and let it help you with your everyday life. Courtney King, give us the name of your book, where people can find you, and again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. I can be found on Amazon. So the books are on Amazon. Courtney King, Kortney. King is my last name. You go on Amazon and you just put in my name. It'll pull up all the books that I've written that are published so far. The new book is called Uplifting the Forgotten Queen. And this book is going to be all about sisterhood and collective consciousness for our ladies tapping into your divine feminine energy. And anything on Facebook or Instagram, you can find my business, King Infinity Inc., on Facebook and Instagram. And on Instagram, I am COKO8, Coco8, for my personal page. And on Facebook, it's Courtney King, my name. So that's how you can find me and tap in.
All right, y'all, go ahead, support Black love, Black entrepreneurship. All right,
Yes,
go
yes,
out there and
yes.
find it. Y'all have a great and fantastic rest of your day. I love my life. I hope you
Yes.
love your life.
Thank you.
Positive Forces Show.